How's everyone transitioning back to work after the holidays? Yeah, Marita, I feel more like you, where it's like, am I, am I transitioning well?
If the weather was the 50s like it was in December, that would be even better. Much
I,
easier.
yeah, couldn't agree more.
hmm I've got my jacket on, my blankie is over my lap.
Hi, Laura. Is it cold in the new, like where you moved to in the library?
Well, I have some lovely windows and um there's still drafts from the open air spaces that they're still working on. So we're not fully sealed in, and so when that gets done, it'll be much better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Good thing you got some blankets and some warm
Yes,
clothes there.
prepare.
Let's see here. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Lynn. I'm going to put a couple things in the chat while we finish waiting, and then we'll go ahead and get started here in the next couple minutes.
I am in a sleeveless shirt because I was just messing with my stove.
Working up a sweat?
Yup. I'm sure I'll put my sweater on at some point soon.
All right. Welcome back. I'm sure there's going to be more people coming in. I know the other officers haven't even shown up yet, which is fine. People kind of trickle in as they can. There's a lot of meetings that happen on the second Tuesday of the month. So hopefully that's not distracting for you, Kelly, as you present. People kind of popping in here and there. Yeah, so welcome back to the Human Service Council. Michelle, not to put you on the spot, but later, if you want to hang out, since we missed you in December at the end of last year, if there's anything you want to say, we can kind of hold off till after the presentation. If you're interested, if not, you can pass. You don't have to. Yeah, so we're here, and today we're going to be hearing from Kelly Sharp, who's a licensed social worker from the Mental Wellness Center here in Bloomington. They serve the Central Illinois region as a whole. And she's going to be talking about burnout, which is great to jump us off. That, like I said earlier, that transition time coming out of a holiday and some time off to coming back with loads of emails and obligations can be overwhelming sometimes. So
definitely.
So yeah, so let's I'll leave the floor to Kelly. I'm going to spotlight you and turn off my audio. And then if anyone wants to hang out afterwards, we're going to do some agency updates. If you have anything to share with us. Shannon, if you could put your email in the chat for flyers, and then I'll get Emily, if you could do the same thing if anyone's interested in presenting. Okay. It's all you, Kelly.
All right, thank you. Hello, a happy new year, everyone. Big thank you to Courtney for arranging this and allowing me to be here today. Community outreach was really kind of my first love in social services, and I haven't really had an opportunity to get to do much of that since prior to the pandemic. So it's really good to be able to engage with some fellow community members. Courtney mentioned before, I'm joining you from my home on behalf of the Mental Wellness Center. I actually started at the Mental Wellness Center in April of 2023. I had met Jen Bovey, the owner of the Mental Wellness Center, at a trauma training we were both attending. And I had her sign. I actually happened to have a book that she had published on me, and I had her sign it, and that was kind of my introduction to her, and also kind of like a big book nerd moment for me, which kind of makes me laugh. I started kind of doing research on group private practices in the area after I met Jen, and kind of came to realize that The Mental Wellness Center really supported the diversity and inclusion that I was looking for in a practice, as well as affirming our clients. And they also really stressed prevention of burnout and good self-care, which I knew would be really important for me because I planned on helping a lot of people and doing a lot of deep work, and I knew that I'd need to take really good care of myself in order to help others. I have found that burnout is sneaky, because we often don't know it's here until it's too late. There seems to be a lot of buzz lately about the word burnout, but I want to dive further into what exactly burnout is. I'm gonna attempt to share my screen here. I do have some technological challenges sometimes, so just please bear with me. Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so what exactly is burnout? Burnout is a state of mental exhaustion caused by one's professional life. As it turns out, our brains, just like all other parts of our body, require resources and nurturing. And when they don't get them, they try to preserve the little resources that they have. Burnout shares some of the same neurobiological aspects of depression. So it's more than just stress or frustration and can even lead to depression if we aren't careful. Stress and burnout are actually mutually reinforcing. However, burnout has a greater impact on stress than vice versa. So the more a person's burnout becomes, the more stress that will feel at work, if that makes sense. Additionally, I want to point out that the phrase, sorry, messed up there. Burnout contains three core characteristics. We feel depleted and emotionally exhausted. We feel ineffective in what we're doing, and we feel negatively towards our responsibilities and even cynical about their importance. A brief history of burnout. So in 1974, Herbert Freudenberger coined the term burnout. And then in 1980, Christina Maslach introduces the 3-feature model of burnout that is still used today. It's an inventory that some companies use to kind of gauge how burnout their employees are. And then fast forward 2019, the World Health Organization includes burnout in their 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases as an occupational phenomenon. I just want to be clear, it's not classified as an actual medical condition at this point. I think it's also important to point out here that burnout is most often caused by problems at work, but can also appear in other areas of life, like parenting, caretaking, or even romantic relationships. But the language for those should be specific. So it would be like parental burnout, relationship burnout, caregiver burnout. The term burnout really just applies to our professional lives. And then in 2020, I think Emily and Amelia Nagoski, the authors of the book Burnout, did some important research that included that burnout is mostly the aftermath of an inability to move effectively through the cycle of our negative emotions. Some of those negative emotions can be things like self-doubt, failure, defeat, loss of motivation, negative thinking, etc. In 2022, the American Psychological Association indicated that stressors brought on by the pandemic are persistent and indefinite. And in March of 2022, the New York Times stated the new phase of the pandemic is exhaustion. In May 2022, the Surgeon General declared healthcare workers' burnout a national emergency. I just want to touch base on this. These concerns of burnout are widespread, but we know stress levels and burnout are higher for certain groups of people. For instance, women have had higher levels of burnout than men for years, a gap which is still increasing. And many professions are hit harder than others, like the healthcare workers that were mentioned. And also I see a lot of teachers being hit by burnout as well. A lot of those professions are predominantly female. And then along with things like a lack of affordable childcare also contributes to this. Gen Z and younger millennials just entering the workforce seem to also be having a harder time than other generations. Just with the cost of rising inflations make the risk for burnout higher. And also having existing mental or physical health conditions may also make you more prone to chronic stress and burnout. Take, for example, somebody that has ADHD. They might be trying to constantly mask, trying hard to adapt to an environment that's not really neurodivergent affirming, having executive functioning difficulties, an extra sensitive nervous system, and a mind that has a hard time shutting off if they're not being treated for ADHD. I recently also had a Hispanic female client of mine who was really teetering on the edge of burnout at her job. And we really had to explore things from both an organizational and personal perspective. She was experiencing microaggressions in the workplace, and she communicated her needs to management and explained to them what was going on, and ultimately felt it was best for her to remove herself from her workplace and heal. So you really have to get to the root cause of your burnout and kind of think about, whether it's company culture, environmental stressors, things like discrimination, lack of opportunities, and think about what things you can and cannot change and what kind of energy and resources you have that can contribute to that. I know my client isn't alone in her experience. I've heard similar experiences from others. And I know that the truth is only 7% of companies set representation targets to see where their employees fall on the burnout spectrum, and whether their people of color are more or less burned out and why. Some of the causes of job burnout, other than the things that I just mentioned previously, are lack of control, not having a say, or not having what you need to do your job. A lack of clarity about what's expected of you, conflict with others, too much stimulation, which can lead to burnout, or even too little, which they're calling rust out, and lack of support and problems with work-life balance. So what are the symptoms of burnout? Some of the emotional signs might be feeling overwhelmed, feeling detached and or lonely, thinking negative thoughts constantly, feeling on edge, feeling unable to switch off. Physical signs might be headaches, insomnia, back, neck, and shoulder pain, jaw clenching, gut issues, recurrent illnesses. Questions you can kind of ask yourself to know if you're feeling burnout. Do you question the value of your work? Do you drag yourself to work and have trouble getting started? Do you feel removed from your work and the people you work with? Have you lost patience with coworkers, customers, or clients? Do you feel let down by your job? Are you using food, drugs, or alcohol to feel better or numb how you feel? Okay, so say you've answered yes to most of those questions, you're already feeling like you need to recover from burnout. You're ready to take some time off. You need to think about how much time you need to take off. What does your break look like? Thinking about what energizes versus depletes you. For instance, I like a combination of like rest and reflection, time in nature, um, maybe some adventurous things on my breaks, but it's going to look different for everyone. Determine how often you need breaks throughout the year, and do you need to utilize them regularly to break up your weeks? And set reminders to take breaks every hour. When I came to the mental wellness center, they told me, they really believe in self-care. And if that meant like having a snack while I'm there with my clients, because I didn't have, time to do it at any other point, and I was feeling hungry, that's something that they stressed that I should do. I think that polyvagal theory plays a big role in our stress levels and just recognizing our nervous system and how it operates. Polyvagal theory kind of tells us, well, it helps us with emotional regulation, social connection, and our fear responses. The really cool thing is our body is designed to protect us, but it also needs our help. It needs us to notice what's going on in our body and when we're moving through these various states, and to use coping skills to help us move out of these states if we're stuck in them for too long. So being able to label where we're at any given moment really helps keep our stress levels down as well. And we can develop skills to help bring us out of those states, like I mentioned. I think self-compassion is a huge thing that gets missed a lot when thinking about burnout and self-care. Self-compassion is regarding yourself compassionately, showing understanding for suffering, and acknowledging your distress. Both compassion and self-care need to be utilized to prevent burnout, because self-care without some self-compassion discharges a debt somewhere else. Usually that shows up in terms of things like guilt. I've had a lot of different client examples of people that have a hard time slowing down and not working so hard. I had one client that was kind of swinging between working really hard and then resting too hard, he said, to the point where he'd miss our appointments. So really trying to find a balance with that. Self-care with self-compassion is a gift that doesn't have to be earned or repaid. Some of the affirmations that I've worked with my clients on are: self-care is not selfish. I'm allowed to relax. Whatever I've done today is enough. I'm creating when I'm resting. I give myself permission to relax and recharge. Another component of self-care and burnout prevention. Not sure what happened there. Okay. Is a Japanese concept called ikigai, and it has a lot of different components. I see that I'm starting to run a little short on time, so I'm gonna kind of keep this part short, but your reason for why you need to create self-care can vary. It can just be something as simple as, if I don't take good care of myself, I won't be able to take good care of others, or it can be more complex in answering these questions. Boundaries and burnout. A lack of boundaries could mean that you're people pleasing to the point at work where you lose sight of your own needs and professional goals. Healthy boundaries sound like, I'm honored that you'd ask me to help, but I'm unable to add anything else to my workload. I'm not comfortable discussing this at work. I don't have the capacity to do all of those tasks today. Which would you like me to prioritize? Really trying to balance your time and energy and making your needs important. This is an example of kind of like what my weekly burnout prevention plan looks like. I have it broken down: physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual. I know people that also add financial into this. I know this can seem a little overwhelming at first. Even if you just want to focus on one area, that's great too. Or you could do something like this, where you're kind of recognizing the different stages of burnout, um, and planning accordingly. I hope some of what I said resonated with you all today, and you're able to start creating or adding a self-care plan for yourself for 2024. Now is a great time to do that. I will be sending this presentation along with like a simple self-care strategy, and also links to our website. We have some 2-minute self-care tips that are also really great. And I included this quote. It's by Morgan Harper Nichols. She's a author and artist, and it just says, "Through all the busyness, I will continue to observe how the clouds in the sky and the flowers of the field pace themselves through the day. And when it comes to my own forward movement, I am free to do the same." I'm finished.
Thanks so much, Kelly.
I tried to fit it all in. I have a lot to say.
I'm sure there's always a lot to say about it. If you want to go ahead and unshare your screen.
Okay.
And then moving forward, you're open, or you said you were going to send me, or you can send me the slides and
Yeah.
contact information.
Yeah, because I feel like I kind of flew through some of that and wanted people to be able to read it later.
Yeah, and we had someone in the chat ask for the information also. So that's perfect. I can send it out with the reminder email for February. So the
Great.
1st of February, you guys can get that. If anyone wants it before then, just email me directly and let me know, and I can get it to you before then. It will also be available on the YouTube page today.
Okay.
So if you have not subscribed or don't follow that, it's McLean. Let me double check. It's McLean County Human Service Council on YouTube. So you can also revisit the slides there if you need it beforehand. So thanks so much, Kelly. We're going to open it up to any questions. If anyone has any burning information they need from Kelly while she's here with us.
Hello. I thought I
Yes.
turned my camera on. I can't see me. Oh, there I am.
There you go.
Yeah, no, not really any question. Just I put it in the chat also. Just great presentation. I can relate over the years of my career. I've experienced, different phases of burnout. So it's great to see, things that can help and how to recognize it, and that it's okay to self-care and that type of thing. And so I didn't know some of the philosophies or whatever the different names that different things were given, but um, not only have I can relate and have seen it myself, I've seen the burnout in coworkers and other things. And so some of the examples of things you can say, that was great information to share. So
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Sherry.
And also, if let me see, if you hadn't already, I would like to connect more with you outside of this. Is it possible you could put your email in the chat if that's possible? It may be in the email already.
Yeah, Kelly, if you could put your contact information in the chat in case anybody
Sure.
wants to get a hold of you.
Sure.
As I was listening to the presentation, I'm also struck by, work-life balance. It looks different for everybody. Some people can work 80 hours a week and not feel burned out, and others 40 hours is like burning them out. And so just to recognize that different people need different balances in their life is important.
I couldn't agree more.
I wanted to point out, it kind of moved up in the chat, the Nagoski book. they did a podcast, which I didn't know it was a book at first. I got the podcast. I was like, oh, I bought the book, and it kind of just syncs up with the podcast, and they just really talk about it and give really great examples. And they have a ton of research in there, but they make it super accessible. So if you don't want to carry around a book, podcast's really great, and they're funny. Like, they are funny ladies. So got me through the pandemic for sure.
There's a question in the chat from Alma. How did you create a routine or schedule to prevent burnout?
I learned it in grad school. It was part of what they were having us do while I was doing my internships. So I was very thankful that they had us create that. And then it's just sort of evolved over the years. Like, once you kind of start one thing in one area, you just kind of can keep building upon it. But yeah, again, what Laura said, like, what works for me might not be what works for other people, and it's very individualized.
And I think another thing that is individualized is compassion fatigue, and just how different people becomes more invested in, and all of us have jobs where we're, one-on-one with people, and we become invested in helping them, and that can spill over into your private life and just your thoughts, and you just can't turn it off. So
Definitely. I think people in social services kind of serve as like a vessel for other people's stuff, and that's kind of where the burnout comes in with compassion fatigue.
I had a question. You may not have any information on it, but I've never heard of rust out.
It was
What
new
is
for me
rust
too.
out?
It was new for me too. I
Yeah.
think just being so much boredom in your job, not being stimulated enough, not having enough interesting things to do, and just kind of feeling really depleted in that regard.
Just to kind of add to that, and hello everyone. Is there information concerning rust out? I'm definitely going to go ahead and research the term, but is there a book or anything that you may follow concerning it?
With rust out?
Yeah, because I've never heard the term as well, but I wanted to know if there is more information that's attached to the terminology.
I can send that to Courtney. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there is.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anyone else who has? Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead, Ryan.
I don't have much to elaborate on in terms of what we do to alleviate burnout, but I know that on the call center side, specifically in the 988 area, addressing and trying to stay ahead of burnout is one of the largest concerns of 988 management, and taking, those suicide hotline calls is brutal, and even the most seasoned counselors really have to struggle with it too. And we've got a few quiet rooms set up, and similar to what Kelly said early on about being encouraged to like eat during your shift, or do whatever you need to for self-care. That's something that we really emphasize at Path is self-care and prioritizing that, because we recognize that our operators have a mighty task ahead of them, and we're constantly battling against burnout. And even with all of our best efforts, it's impossible to be enough for everyone. And turnover as the result of burnout is something that is something that we're constantly dealing with. There's a steady every 6 weeks or so we have a new class of 6 or 8 new 988 operators, because it's something I mean, between other factors contributing to turnover, but burnout is chief among that. It's just we have a constant influx of people, because there's enough people going out all the time that it's just an ongoing thing, and a program that we have to have in place rather than just doing occasional hiring as needed. So if you have any materials related to management strategies and addressing burnout for situations like that, I'd be certainly interested in getting some of those along to our call center people.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely talking to the right group of people for this. Yeah, I thank you so much, Kelly, for coming and talking to us today about burnout. And I'll make sure to get those slides to everybody and your contact information. I see your email in the chat. And again, you're welcome to hang out if you want to hear what our agency updates are and stuff for the remainder of the time. But thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation. All right, Michelle, again, not on the spot, but a little on the spot. Since we didn't get to talk to you December or November.
Or November.
Yeah,
Yes.
do you have anything that you want to share?
I would like to say thank you to Courtney for taking over the end of my shift. I really appreciate it. I do feel like this is such a great group. I didn't get to thank you for all that you've done for our community and continue to do and burn out doing. I just wanted you to know that you are very important and what you do does matter. And thank you for all you put into the Human Service Council, how you supported me and your other officers. And just wish Courtney and Emily and Shannon and Caprice, I'm not sure if she's on here, that you guys would just be very successful. I'm here if you need me, any of you. Would love to connect and continue to work together. The library's always here. I'm always here for you. Please let me know what I can do. And if you're looking for any of these books, and you want to see if the library can access them, please let me know. Yeah. Thank you so much for the past 3 years. So I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks so much for everything you did last year for Michelle and, making it a lot easier for me to transition into this position. I appreciate it more than you know. But we'll go ahead and start with agency updates if no one has anything else. We can start with Ryan, because I know you're going to do a little intro.
Yes, hello. So few more notes for Path today than usual. In the dark here, sorry, I'm sitting in a weird corner. So there's been a change of leadership at Path as a whole. We have a new interim CEO, Dr. Adam Carter, who served as our assistant call center director for a few months this summer and is now back in an expanded leadership role. And there's a number of details related to this that are convoluted, but it signifies a lot of exciting new things moving forward for Path. We are going to be specifically emphasizing a focus on our community relationships, and I know that this meeting is a great source of that. So expect to hear new things from Path coming forward. I have a personal announcement as well. I am moving on to my dream career, which is in the board game industry, and my last day with Path will be Friday the 19th. And so this is actually my last Human Service Council meeting, which is certainly bittersweet. But I have with me today Anthony Morrison, who is acting as my interim assistant director and will be stepping into the interim director database role in my stead as we are looking to fill those roles permanently. Anthony, at least in the short term, will be also taking over the pathogram role. I've been doing my best to impart that process upon him, and I know you've all individually made great contributions to that. That's pretty much what we have. Yeah, I guess Anthony, would you like to say hi or add anything?
Yeah, I'll just say hello. Good to meet you all. I look forward to working with you more in the future.
Hi, Anthony. And, personally sad, but also congratulations, Ryan, on your dream job.
Thank you. It's nerdy paradise. I get to travel to board game conventions and stuff. And Shannon, I do see your question in the chat. I'm working on a response right now, and I will cede the floor. And I'm about to eat a sandwich, so I'm going to shut my camera off as well.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, Emily.
was trying to process what Ryan just said. I feel like I'm melting. Ryan's leaving Pat. Everything's gonna be fine. Anthony, you're gonna do great. You're filling such big shoes. Geez, trying to pull myself back together here. Hi everybody, my name is Emily, and I am the program coordinator for this year for HSC. So if you have any flyers, you can send those to Shannon. But if you're interested in presenting at a future meeting, or you know of an organization that you'd like to have come present to us, please let me know. My email got sent out, I think, last week in the email from Courtenay, and I also put it up in the chat toward the beginning of this meeting. So feel free to reach out. As for my agency updates, I work at Brightpoint as a community services coordinator at the Scott Child and Family Center. So we have Head Start and Early Head Start programs here. We serve 6 weeks to 5 years old. At this time, we do have a wait list. I feel like I give the same announcement every month. We have a wait list, but we're constantly pulling from the wait list. We're actually about to open a new infant room. So I'm not sure if all of those spots are already filled or like spoken for. So if you know of anybody that's looking for childcare, please send them our way, and we would be happy to look into that further. We do triage our wait list so that folks with a higher need are served first. And I think that's it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Emily. Kiki.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kiki Towns. I'm from the Salvation Army. I am the Pathway of Hope coordinator. I do not have any updates as of right now. There are some shiftings, some different things we're going to be doing with our potential clients for this year, which will be more education-based to keep people grounded and moving forward from homelessness. If you don't know what my job title was about, it's just all about family services recertification, as well as bridging the gap between homelessness and people continuing to be housed. And so, hey, everybody.
Hi, Kiki. Thanks for coming today. Marita, if you'd like to go next.
Hi there. My name is Marita. I'm the nurse with the McLean County Fuse program. I don't think we formally have any updates yet. I guess the only thing that I can say is that we are the request for proposals for local providers to function as our psychiatric prescriptive provider has gone out. So we're in the process of looking for local entities to fill in that role for us.
Okay. Shannon.
Good luck, Marita. I hope you find someone. It's hard for everybody looking for that care right now.
Agreed.
Yeah, I work at Life Center for Independent Living, and we just serve people with all types of disabilities from birth to, through the lifespan. We have a lot of different programs, pretty much all free to our consumers. People just have to identify as a person with a disability or be a family member of someone. So we do have our low vision program, which helps people 55 and older. I know I've talked about that before, but if they have, glaucoma or macular and they need large print address books or magnifying glasses, we've got high tech, low tech stuff across the board. Kim kind of talks to each person and decides, helps them, choose out items that are really going to be useful for them. But I encourage you to check out our website. It's just www.lifecil.org to just learn more about our programs. Please share us widely. Thanks.
Shannon, I haven't asked this before, but what's the radius of LifeCil's coverage? Is it just McLean County, or how far out does it go through Central Illinois?
Yeah, we serve 4 counties. It's McLean, and then it's also Ford, DeWitt, and Livingston. So yes, it gets pretty rural towards Livingston and Ford and parts of DeWitt as well. So we serve kind of both areas. We also do advocacy. So if you know somebody even in the outlying area that is having some transportation issues, or they want to go somewhere in town and it's not accessible, we also have our disability rights. His title just changed. Basically, he comes out and helps people advocate for themselves and disability rights in their communities. So it's a cool gig.
Thank you. Laura.
Yes, hi. I am here on behalf as the president of Thrive Housing, and we provide and increase affordable housing in Bloomington Normal. And I don't have any Thrive specific updates, but I did want to say that I am working with the McLean County Regional Planning Commission in terms of a recovery housing plan for post-COVID. And as part of this, today at 5:30, there is a housing needs public forum. So if anyone from your agency or any of your clients would like to come to this forum, you can find information about it on the McLean County Regional Planning Commission Facebook page or the Thrive Housing Facebook page. And there is a Zoom option if people don't want to go out into the weather.
I saw that earlier today. I'm really glad they're offering a Zoom option.
Me too.
I wanted to add, they're also offering childcare.
Yes, they
So
are.
I think it's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Michelle.
So just to tell you, the library is still under construction, in case you didn't know. We are going on 2 years now of construction. And so if you haven't seen, we're moved into our new portion of the library. It's gorgeous, very majestic looking inside of here. And we still have about this much more space that we're adding on. So that's hopefully coming in the spring. Then just to let you know kind of a couple of things that are on our calendar. This Thursday, they're having some authors come and talk about what they are researching and speculating is going to happen with AI in the future. And so, and where that's going to take their writing. So I think that sounds very interesting. And then next month, we're starting a cookbook club. So you can check out the cookbook that we are featuring for that month. And then you can make whatever recipes in there, but you choose one and then bring it, and everyone is going to share and taste each other's recipes. So that's starting next month. So be sure and stop by and see us.
Wonderful. Do you have to cook something in order to come to that, or can you just show?
You can't, I think you have to actively be involved, but you have to sign up. So it's kind of a little bit of a commitment there. Yeah,
No.
there is one this weekend that that is already full, but it's just taste testing of international foods. And I think that was just to show up and eat. And that was a fun idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Michelle. Barb.
Thank you. So I'm Barb Rumleby. I am a community health specialist at Chestnut Health Systems working on the McLean County ROSC. And I would say, let's see, one update is we just dropped off on Friday some outreach bags to both Home Sweet Home in like the Junction and the new RCC. So if you know anyone that could use any outreach bags that include things like hats and socks and some just toiletry items, journal, Narcan, things like that, you could just send them over to the Home Sweet Home or the RCC, A New Horizon. Let's see. So we just did that. We're starting, we're wanting to have something at our monthly counseling meeting called In the Spotlight, basically just wanting to get people that are wanting to be in the spotlight, just a brief 10 to 15 minutes about what you or your agency does. And we're just asking if you're interested, just shoot us an email and we can get your information. And we're just trying to make out a schedule of things for our monthly meetings. So I'll put my email in the group chat. And I think that's really all the updates I have for right now. So thanks for everything.
Just as a reminder, the group chat is also shared in the reminder emails. So any email that's put in there, or any information that's given will also be distributed to everybody, okay? Dorothy?
Okay, I'm always that person that's on mute, so I had to find my button. I'm Dorothy Davis, and I'm a coordinator for Parents Care and Share program for the Central Region. I have a couple of announcements. We have Coach Mike Dorsey coming on Zoom to talk about creating your own fatherhood blueprint, and that's for dads who want to try to blueprint their life and work on parenting skills and all that great stuff. Mike was a coach for the NBA, and now he has a book out called The 33 Laws of Impact and Fulfillment. So that's February 15th at 11 to 12 o'clock on Zoom. And I'll put my information in the chat if you're interested. And I'm also sending this to Shannon so she can send it around to you guys. And then we have another exciting situation for the women. We have Building a Winning Team for Moms who are co-parenting, divorced, separated, whatever, from their significant other, and how they can co-parent together and work on building a foundation for their children. And we work on gatekeeping and all kinds of issues that moms have sometimes with dads and trying to bridge over that so the child can have the benefit of both their parents. That workshop is also on Zoom and it's on Tuesdays. It's a 7-week class, and at the end of it, the participants get a $25 gift certificate. So it's a really good opportunity. So if you have any parents that could benefit from it, please send them our way and we'll get them connected. And then my last plea is I'm having a Blue Bow committee meeting, and I would like all of you to come. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and I really try to work hard on turning McLean County blue. And that's blue bows. Different agencies have taken pictures in blue t-shirts, just the support and getting the information out about child abuse. So I have 3 meetings, one in January, February, and March. I have a lunch, so you get a free lunch and you pick up your bows and everything you need and get to meet me in person. So it's pretty cool. So that's January 25th from 10 to 11. And I will send out an email to you, Shannon, so you can forward it around because I don't have a flyer. But I really encourage you all to get involved because anything you do to help save a child's life is really important. And with all the homelessness and mental health issues going on with parents right now, if we can give them any kind of support or information or knowledge, it's priceless. So, all right. So that's the end of my spiel.
Are you going to send over a flyer for the women's class?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
coming tomorrow. So you'll get it.
Thanks.
So that'll be exciting too. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dorothy. Alma?
Shout out to Dorothy. I'm always like plugging in those programs with our clients over here in the Head Start program. So I'm an FSS at the Scott Center. I work with Emily, except I'm the one that directly works with clients. And right now we're enrolling a whole bunch of little babies. They just built a baby room. It's supposed to be holding more than 8 babies right now. But so far we have a few of them, new families and kind of like families we already have here. So we can show families that we have full support for them. So it's kind of cool. We're also working with the home visitors to connect all these families together. So that's pretty exciting because we're going to get new babies in the facility.
All right. Thanks, Alma. Abby?
Hey everyone, I'm Abby Behrens. I also am with Brightpoint. I get to work with the Butterfly Project as the case manager coordinator. If you're not familiar, the Butterfly Project is a counseling and case management program that works with families exposed to domestic violence. So we cover McLean, Woodford, Ford, Logan, and Livingston counties. So the 5 counties in the 11th Judicial Circuit. If you're not already connected with us, we host a coalition in every one of those counties. And then in February, we're having our whole 11th Judicial Circuit meeting. And Jill Duden from PCA is coming and she's going to do some training for us. So that's going to be really awesome. So if you're not already in that, let us know and we'd love to have you join. And then I think the only other thing, like our program's business as usual, super busy, doing all the things. But we do have some growth. So we are hiring for a therapist, do have to be master's level. And then we are also hiring for 2 case managers. So those positions are posted on our website. So if you know anyone, just let them know. Think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Abby. Cassie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Cassie DeGuido. I'm the Senior Director of Program Development at Bloomington YMCA. I don't have too many updates for everyone. We just have a lot of our programming is in full swing. We have our winter basketball program. Our first game is actually starting this Saturday, which is really exciting. And we also have our YPALS program continuing to go for childcare before and after school, and our swim lessons. So if anyone ever has questions about our programming or would like more information, please reach out to me. And then we have in our wellness space also classes and different fitness activities and classes going on for our members as well. But like I said, if anyone ever has questions or any kind of suggestions or things you're hearing in the community about programming needs, please feel free to reach out to me and I will put my email in the chat.
Thanks, Cassie. Darla?
Hello, everyone. Great presentation, Kelly. Very timely for all of us with this time of year. I'm with Faith in Action, and we're a nonprofit organization. We empower volunteers to provide rides to medical appointments and grocery shopping for people 60 and over who lack transportation. We aren't in all of McLean County, but we do serve some of the smaller communities outside of Bloomington Normal. And last year we provided 10,616 services. We have 401 active care receivers. So we have many more on our list in case they need something, one thing at a time. But those that are receiving our services is 401. So we're in the middle of our annual appeal and funding is coming along very well. And we're planning budgets and goals and so forth for 2024. If anyone has a client age 60 and over who's ambulatory and can get in and out of a volunteer's vehicle, which could be a car or a van or SUV, have them call us. We do an assessment to make sure they're safe in our services. And it takes about 3 weeks to get on the program. So we recommend that people contact us sooner rather than close to the appointment so we can get them in the services.
Darla, can I ask, what is the trip to New York?
Oh, yeah, it's a fundraising trip, a bus trip to New York. And they're going to be doing a lot of sightseeing. One of the things that really stands out to people is the 911 Memorial and Museum. So they'll tour that as well as other highlights of New York City. So it is a fundraising trip, but it's also part of our social isolation program because we have care receivers who would like to travel and they're physically able to travel, but they don't drive any longer. So this is a good way for them to go with a group and experience different cities. We're going to be going to New Hampshire in the fall and next December to Pigeon Forge for the Christmas festivities. Thank you for asking about that.
What a great idea. I didn't realize that that was offered at all.
Yes, we've just increased to 3 times a year rather than 2. So I'll make sure you all get the information about it. We're getting close to having the bus filled, which is fantastic. There's been so much interest in this trip.
Beautiful.
It's in May.
In May. All right. Thank you, Darla. Sherry?
Hello, hello. Yes, thank you. I'm Sherry Gordon Harris. I'm a community liaison for Health Alliance, and I am again covering McLean County. Previously, the last year and a half or so was covered by Dawn Sundone, so she has taken another opportunity. So I'm covering the area and attending these meetings again. And just a little bit about my role as a liaison. I help educate the community, and I represent Health Alliance, which is a healthcare insurance company. I specialize in Medicare, but we do also have other lines of insurance for individuals under 65 and their dependents, and commercial company insurance for employees. And also, I help. Educate and get information and help with sponsorships in the communities and help give back to to the areas that we serve. And so also I give presentations. I have a whole list of topics that I can give, not just on Medicare, but other topics. Just a couple of examples: advanced directives, healthy aging, health advocacy, that type of thing. So I'd be happy to share that list if anyone's interested. And then I just wanted to share, we mainly cooperate, or we just work in partnership with other companies. We don't do a whole lot of events we put on and host ourselves, but I do want to share one that I'm excited about, and I was surprised. Darla did mention it, but we just recently got the word that we are going to be a proud supporter of Faith in Action in general. But
You.
one event that's coming up is the Mardi Gras Bingo Bonanza. I had to get some kind of energy out there. But anyway, I'm excited about it because in addition to the great things that Faith in Action does that Darla mentioned, they help seniors live independently. And so this one, if the tickets are not sold out, because last I heard they were selling out fast, it's supposed to be a great event with appetizers and bingo prizes, that type of thing. And it's going to be at the Distilled Brew Hall. I think I said that right. But Darla could give you more on that, but we're a supporter of it, anything Faith in Action does, because they do help singers, and I've heard lots of good things. So we're a proud supporter and a sponsor for that.
Thank you
And
very much.
yeah,
We
that's all I
are
have. Thank
full.
you.
We have 160 people coming to the event. Very exciting.
Yeah. Oh, that's good news. Great news. So I did offer to help with that if it's any need. And then if I mainly help out with, things dealing with seniors, that type of thing. But if your organization or agency has anything we possibly can connect on, let me know. If nothing else, I do reach out and network with all agencies so I can see and know and understand what services you provide, so we can be a resource to other people, whether they're seniors or others. Someone may come to me about child care or transportation or whatever. And if we don't provide it, I will have someone that I know in the community I can refer them to. So I hope to get to know each and every one of you and your organizations, what you do, so I could at least refer people to you if the need comes up. And I already have several agencies in mind that I'm going to give a referral to for Kelly to give her presentation. I'm like, you got to bring her. She's she's great. You need her to give you this. You got some speaking gigs possibly coming your way,
Oh,
Kelly.
thanks, Sherry.
Yes. Okay. And that's all I have. Thank you, Courtney.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry. And if you want to put your information in the chat too, so people can reach you directly if they know that they want to meet with you, it would be really helpful. And we had a couple people log off, which is fine. Had 1:00 meetings to get to, but is Jenna still here? Yeah, there you are. You put your camera on. I was looking for your name.
Hi, I'm Jenna Salinas at One Hope, the case manager here. I do have a couple of updates. I won't keep you guys too long. Our 8-week adult group counseling starts February 8th, and that's Thursday. It's every Thursday for 8 weeks. Because we've had no turnout for teens, that is to be determined, contingent on who or if anyone signs up. Still encouraged to sign them up. We will still have it if we do get them. We're also putting together a body positive yoga class for the community for eating disorder awareness week, February 28th to March 5th. I'll probably have more details on that our next meeting in February. But just keep a lookout for more information on that. And that's all I have here.
Thanks, Jenna. Kelly, as a newly added member, and since you're still here, do you have anything you want to share from the Mental Wellness Center? I don't know if there's anything going on.
At this time, I don't think so. We have a couple groups, one for parents of children with ADHD, another one for women over 40 that focuses on embodiment. But I can go ahead and send the flyers when I email you, and you can get those circulating. So
great.
Kelly, you said those are support groups?
Yes. No, counseling groups. So there is a charge for them, but I'll include all the information on the flyer for that.
Thank you.
Courtney Crossan from the Healing Collective. I don't have any, well, I did add some Saturday trauma-focused restorative yoga classes from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if anyone couldn't make a Tuesday night class, those are from 6 to 7:30. We do have some Saturday mornings open. They're small classes, 6 people or less, just to keep it easy, and we can kind of work on regulating ourselves and our nervous systems in community with other people. So if you're interested, you can email me, let me know. If you ever got an email from me, my website's at the bottom of that page, but I'll put it in the chat just in case for anyone else. But otherwise, that's all. Make sure you guys send your flyers to Shannon. You might think it's kind of pointless, but we do post them to all of our social media. So it goes on Instagram, Facebook, and then also the information will go out to the entire list, email list. So make sure you get those over to her. And if you need anything else, you can email me directly. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and your week. And I'll see you next month.
Thanks,
Good to
Courtney.
see everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Emily, did you still want to hang out, or was that? Yeah, you're like